Hello. So I got the Civic back together since the last video that I recorded, where I put the Garrett turbo in with the different manifold and all that stuff. So let me show you what kind of is done. The car does run, however, because of the downpipe, I don't have a bung for my wideband. So I drove it, did like 1 or 2 pulls just to make sure there was no leaks. But now I have to pull everything apart again because there's leaks. I'll show you what's going on. So here's it with the AC compressor in, hooked up, all of the lines connected and everything, with the AC condenser back in. I don't know if you can see that, but there's about a hair between the condenser and the coupler that comes out of the turbo. So it's tight fit, everything's really tight. This is only temporary. I just needed it to be blocked off for now until I can get my actual block off plate, which should be here later this week. Cooling lines worked out excellently. The pressure is good. They don't leak. They don't feel like they're going to break. I mean, I let the car run for 15-20 minutes, made sure all my temps were good and everything was good. Obviously it's loud. So the problem is, it works, it makes boost excellently, far better than the last turbo that was on there. It sounds a lot cooler. Just this, like the turbo spooling down sounds really cool compared to the other turbo. It makes like this cool whistling noise compared to the other one, which didn't make that cool whistling noise. But it is leaking exhaust, not on the top side, but on the bottom side. And I don't know if it's because these aren't tight enough, these nuts aren't tight enough. I wasn't able to put locking washers on there because the studs are too short. So I have to take everything out again. And I got some Loctite, and I'm gonna, instead of using this, because this bolt here is the hardest one to get to, especially with a wrench, because it's a 17 mil and it wants to hit up against the side of the turbo housing. So the back two I can tighten easily, and there was no leaks on that side, but it's the front two where it felt like it was leaking. Now I am running no gasket here. I think I was watching a Hunter Tune video and he was like, I don't run gaskets on these usually because they blow out, or it just seats fine as it is. So I think it would be fine because it's seated from the manifold to the adapter plate. There's no leaks, but underneath the adapter plate to the turbo there's leaks. So I want to take the adapter plate out and kind of sand it to just kind of smooth it out a little bit more and throw a gasket on. I do have a gasket somewhere over here. It's been raining all day today and yesterday, unfortunately. Here's the gasket. I think I used it for 1 second to for a car. I don't know how this is going to work though. I just thought about it. I don't know how well this is going to work because the side that's leaking doesn't need this gasket. It needs the Volvo gasket. So maybe I have one. I do have this Volvo turbo. So this is from a Volvo S60. It is a, I don't know if it's a Garrett turbo or not. It's a TD04 L114T. So I might have a gasket for this, I might not. I want to see, but I can't see from here. It's not on there. There isn't one on it, so I don't know. I'll have to look around and see. It may have ended up in a box somewhere. Or maybe I can order one. Or maybe I'll just put Loctite on it and see if it holds, because it might. I don't know. I just want it to not leak from there, so then I can go take it to an exhaust shop and have the downpipe finished. Because right now it is currently only dumping right after the bend, so I'd like to have my, you can see it dumps right there. I'd like to have my wideband hooked back up, because I don't know how the AFRs look with this new turbo. I'm imagining, just because of the smaller size, that it would run richer, but I think that since it spools earlier, it might need more fuel in the beginning. I don't know. I'm not no expert. I'm just making my best guess. So I don't know what I'm going to do about this, but we'll have to see. Hopefully I can get it to seal. This is the rest of the downpipe that I had cut, because it didn't fit, I guess you could say. Like, it didn't, the angle wasn't right, so I had to, so I'm just going to tell them to cut this piece off and use this, and then just attach a bend and connect it back up, and then after this, put another flange on the factory exhaust pipe and run a reducer from 2.5 inch to the 1 3/4 inch that is the stock piping, just to keep it really quiet. And so the reason I want to put the flange after here is if I ever decide I want to go 2.5 inch later, I can. I'm still on the fence though. I might tell them just to do 2.5 inch all the way back, but it's probably going to be a couple $100 if I want to have a legitimate muffler, and probably still want to keep a resonator, just because I don't want it to be crazy loud. But I got some wire brushes because I didn't have any, and some high strength Loctite, just to get it, you know, to lock. Hopefully this Loctite will work. I wonder how it handles heat. This is high strength, 300 degrees. Probably not. We'll see. I don't know. It'll either work or it won't, and I'll just have to just start all over. That's that. Pretty tired today. I don't really feel like doing anything. I need to get a haircut, and I need to shave, and I need to clean, and I need to finish taking apart this Saab. It was a 2003 Saab 9.3 turbo 6-speed manual with no first gear and 200,000 miles. I did take the turbo off of it, and that thing is tiny, and the manifold is weird. It mounts with like 2 nuts instead of 4, like a lot of, or 3 like some other ones are. But it's a teeny little turbo. I mean, the thing is really, really, really small. So that being said, I'm going to wrap this up, and hopefully the next time you see the Civic, it'll be done, and the AC will be working, and the exhaust will be all plumbed in, and we'll be good to go. I'm ready to have it done so I can drive it and enjoy it. So that's that. See you later. Alright, so I took everything apart. And I figured out why it was leaking on the front side and not the back side. So if you look at this, you see like this side's smooth, maybe not as smooth as it should be, but here there's a little lip, and that's on the front. This is on the front where the, what am I saying? It's on the front side. This is where it was leaking. This is why it was leaking. This shit right here is not smooth. You know, it's probably my fault. I think I hit it with a hammer at one point. But that's no good. So I'm gonna have to smooth that out and see how that'll go. This plate, needs to be smoothed out as well. I'll probably just slap it. I'm not even showing it. I'll probably just slap it on the belt sander. This side looks okay. I'll probably sand this also. And then the manifold is great. Feels good. So, that being said, let's see what I can do.